One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
My friends, welcome to episode number 297. I'm Dennis Simsek, and I am grateful for your time and attention today. Yes, the Health Anxiety Program is now out at theanxietyguy.com under Health Anxiety. 12 weeks to freedom from your health anxiety begins today at theanxietyguy.com. Warriors, today's podcast episode is to recognize whether you are being led by theory or practicality in your healing. Many anxiety sufferers are experts at the subject, but being an expert and focusing entirely on relying on theory to heal yourself will not heal yourself. You can read all the books, you can take all the courses, you can understand everything there is to understand about the subject. But if there's no practicality in there, then guess what? Nothing is going to change. Rarely do I see it. If you are highly focused on practicality, then you're missing out on the understanding. Because yes, you can have the skill sets and you can implement, and you can get to a better place mentally and emotionally. But I'm going to focus on later on telling you where the weaknesses lie within relying solely on practicality. So what is our goal? Our goal in healing and moving forward in our lives is to recognize that we have the balance between theory and practicality in not only healing anxiety, but within anything that we want to change. Theory is mainly head-driven. You are driven by your head. Practicality is heart-driven. You are driven mainly by your heart. Theory equals a deep understanding, whereas practicality equals a tighter connection with. You can see that when you implement skill sets, for example, reframing practices that you're learning through my latest book, F Coping, Start Healing. If you're learning responding techniques, how to respond to the inner child within that moment of fear, you find a tighter connection with this journey and the inner child's subconscious mind. But with theory, yes, you can understand something very, very deeply, but you will plateau. You'll hit that place where you go, well, I know a lot, right? I can help other people, but I find it very difficult to help myself. These are people that rely solely on understanding anxiety to heal themselves. Theory equals building intelligence. Practicality equals building intuition. Which one do you need? You need both. Because as you're going through the day, you're faced with different challenges, external and internal. You're faced with different perceptions coming from the subconscious mind. One moment, you may need to rely on your intelligence. Another moment, you may need to spur on your intuition. You need balance. That's what we're missing in suffering from anxiety. Balance. And I have some questions for you. Question number 1. Are you, yes you, more driven by a need for understanding or implementation? Are you more driven by a need for understanding or implementation? Consider this question right now. Get to know yourself, because the answer to this question alone could reveal so much. Question number 2. Do you intuitively sense that there's a balance going forward in your healing journey between gaining theory and being practical? Do you sense that there's a balance, or are you highly relying on one over the other? Maybe you just want to be practical and you're very impatient and you want to get this over with, but you don't truly understand what it is you're trying to get over. Question number 3. Are you afraid of one or the other because of deep-seated fears around them? Ooh. One person may be heavily involved in theory out of fear of putting into action what they know because of a fear of change. Another person may look for and implement these practical skills daily, but doesn't have the patience to understand what it is they're trying to achieve. Warriors, this is everything. This is everything because we have to understand why we do what we do. Look at your results. Are you happy with how you feel? Are you happy with how you think? Are you happy with who you are? Are you happy with your external results? If the answer is no, then there is a big possibility that you are afraid of doing something, and therefore you are creating reasons as to why you shouldn't do it. And you continue to do what your inner child wants you to do, build theory, understand, but never implement anything, never change anything, never look fear in the eyes and say, today is the day, because you're stuck in a comfort zone. And remember, comfort zones aren't just environments. Comfort zones are habitual ways of thinking, acting, imagining, being. Are you stuck in your comfort zones? Now let's go even deeper. Theory creates understanding if enough time is spent looking to understand. However, relying heavily on theory alone can lead to overthinking, which takes a person away from their intuitiveness. When this happens, comfort zones get strengthened and spontaneity is feared. Spontaneity is feared. That's a big challenge right there. Once you become more spontaneous, you start to heal anxiety. That's it. Because you are starting to trust in what you don't know or understand. Powerful. Powerful. When you start to build trust in what you don't know or understand, you're starting to move yourself towards a place of certainty. Practicality builds certainty, which is a far greater endeavor than searching for confidence, since confidence is fleeting and certainty is definite. Practicality builds personal skill sets and a deeper understanding as well, but has its downfalls in terms of when a setback arises. It's possible that a person who relies heavily on practicality to heal runs into setbacks that they can't find themselves understanding or getting out of. Hence the need for balance between theory and practicality when healing anxiety. What did you just learn about yourself in this journey that you're on? It's very important to go back and go, my God, there's my epiphany. Are you relying solely on gathering information and understanding anxiety more deeply? Are you the more practical type, where you just want to learn a skill set, do it, and get this anxiety over with? Both of them have their strengths. Both of them have their weaknesses. Today our goal is to recognize where we are, why we're here, and what we need to do to move forward. Warriors, I hope this podcast episode brought you tremendous insight, light, clarity. Please take a moment and leave a positive rate and review on this podcast if you're enjoying it. If you know anybody out there that's suffering, or a group or a forum, please share this podcast with them. Let's help more people become more than anxiety starting today. And again, the Health Anxiety program is out at theanxietyguy.com. 12 Weeks to Freedom begins today. Theanxietyguy.com under Health Anxiety. I'll see you in the next podcast episode. Until then, keep building progress. That's the goal. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.